Hello, hello. It's Friday. I remember the days of working, the 10 years of going to school to earn my master's. When my daughter was growing up and going to school, Fridays always had a big bookmark significance. As you get older and you don't work at a go into corporate job or a stay-at-home work from home corporate type job, it means less and less. It's just another day. But I guess it's still nice to have a bookmark, of some type, somewhere, somehow. I don't know. Yeah. So I'm Lucinda, and I'm about to have to fill my dog's water up. My dog, you can't see him. He's down on the floor and he's little. Right behind me is the dog and cat motion water fountain. And he's always been a strange one. He's an emotional therapy dog, just because he is, not because I got him for that purpose. He's just very empathic. But the way he eats and he drinks is like all or nothing, So, I mean, literally, he will go, even in the summer, he can go, I'm looking something up as I'm talking to you. He can go 10 hours without, did the wrong thing, without drinking any water. And then he comes in here and drinks I don't know, it's about a fifth of a gallon all at once. I've never understood it. Okay, I'm looking something up because I'm gas spite. That's it. Okay, gas spite. I wanted to see, I forgot what this was called, and I'm going to bring this incredible second necklace that I bought from Denis. It's Denis. This Navajo gentleman was pronouncing it Denis, I believe. No, that's not it at all. He's got a channel on YouTube called Traditional Navajo Teachings or something like that. And he is really, really interesting. If you ever want to learn anything about that particular culture, or just all the varying original American, quote, this continent, quote, cultures, he's great. Okay, I got to put water in here because can you hear the noise? Yeah, there's a little machine and it keeps it bubbling up and coming down the sides. It's supposed to be healthier. It also entices them to drink more. I don't know. If you have pets, then you know what I'm on about. If you have pets, I don't know cats so much, but dogs, if the water's pouring into their bowl, they drink what's coming out of what you're pouring from more than the bowl. So I don't know. It's a thing. It's a thing, man. Hey, Billy dog. Oh, well, that's really nice, Billy dog. I hope that I'm your cup of tea. I'm a little I'm not Doug and Tanya. But come on in, see what I got. Let me know when you get home. Please drive safely. Okay? Thank you. So, I'm Lucinda. It's Friday. I'm going to set my timer. Today I'm going to set my timer for 2 hours. And at the 2 hour mark, I'm going to go put another log in the wood stove. I've got it banked right now. And then I'll probably come back for half an hour. And then this weekend is finishing packing boxes. We are getting, God, I'm in California. I'm in Northern California. So that's where I ship from. That's where I bill from. Oh, that's where I source from. And we are having another atmospheric river coming in. This one's not going to be freezing cold with all the snow. At least I don't think so. But however, starting tonight, really high winds. So power loss here. Yeah, totally possible. Happens all the time as a part of living in a homestead or on a homestead. I'm here to tell you, you have to decide what you want. You want DoorDash. You want all the people. You want to not be able to find a parking space. Or you want trees, birds, and more open-minded neighbors and park wherever you want instantly. I mean, you just, but power outages and, no street lights. So it's a thing. And I lived in the Bay Area, Berkeley, the majority of my life at Oakland, Richmond. And you know what? I like it here. So I have, as usual, a bunch of different stuff. That's what I do on Fridays. I bring a whole bunch of different stuff and I put it in this giant pile in this basket. And I pull it out and I do a starting bid or a buy it now. And we talk about it. And I've been reselling different types of jewelry since the mid 1970s. Okay. But I don't know everything. I know a lot and I can make really good guesses, but I'm always learning. And whenever I'm in other resellers' chats, I ask questions. I'm like, hey, what does opera length mean? Hey, what are you talking about? That type of shine is what? Because I don't know. And it's, it's like being in a lifelong school. I'm always learning. For instance, I brought a pair of earrings yesterday. And then after I saw the signature, I was like, I'm bringing them today at this price, but don't let me research them because once I research them, the price may go up. I researched. Price is now up. Price is now up. Ducky. I'm pixelated. Oh, let me see if I'm pixelated. Uh-oh. Let me see if I'm pixelated on my secondary device. Because I don't look pixelated to myself. So that's no good. Let's try this again. Load mine. Why are you not loading my dang? What is it? Live. Hold on. Let's see. Thank you for telling me, Ducky. There's a big lag. I would say there's like a 30-second lag, but I don't see pixelation. So Ducky and anyone else, if you're having that issue, why don't you go out and come back in? Yeah, because I don't see it on my device, my secondary device and my first device. So this weekend I will be finished packing, and Monday morning before I go to 2 different appointments all afternoon, I will be taking everything in. It should all have been paid for by then. I think there's one person I haven't invoiced, but they're a reseller, so it's good. They're not worried about it. And this is the end of week 1. I do 2-week build-a-boxes. So this is the end of week 1. Next week is week 2. If you ever purchase something from me, I'm doing my business spiel now. if you ever purchase something from me and you want the item right away, you know, it's a birthday present, it's something you're excited about, you don't think you're coming back, you don't want to build a box, just send me an email or tell me in the chat and I will make a note and I will invoice you right away and I will get it out. For instance, someone bought something yesterday and I asked them, do you want to build a box or you just want me to invoice and get it out? And they're like, please just invoice. And so I did that. Invoice is paid. It'll go out Monday morning. Yeah. Would have gone out today, but too many things going on. So I bill through PayPal and ship through Pirate Ship. Yeah. Pretty simple. So if I don't have your information and you bid on something and you are the winner, I need your info at this email here on the screen with your YouTube name, then your real name with address and zip code all in one line all the way across if you can, so I can just copy and paste into my customer friend sheet, and then your PayPal email address. Thank you and thank you. Okay, so Friday is where I go a little slower and talk about, you know, how I determine the age of things, potentially the value of things, if it's been redone, if it's had any fixes, how to look at soldering, how to find marks, what type of plastics it's maybe, etc., etc. Trade beads versus just older beads, the metal quality, the glass quality, yada yada. And you tell me the same. If you see something and you're like, no, I actually think that is blah blah blah, tell me. Please don't be afraid, because I want your input. I want to know. I want to learn. So let me know. Okay? Let me know. Don't be shy. I'm not going to be mad at you. That's what Fridays are about. I go slower, and then generally that means I take a little bit more time. And Fridays is usually more high-end items. Tuesdays are clearing out household vintage, which I used to sell, and you know, jewelry that's been sitting around. And if it doesn't sell, you know, for $1, $2, $3 over there, then eventually it gets put in a big bag for a very cheap price. Thursdays is about low to medium range, and Friday is medium to high. Ducky, were you able to get back in, or did everything just collapse on you? I mean, not like in a tower of, you know, I hope you're not in a tower of, you know, cabinets like in an earthquake, but I hope your internet is working okay. YouTube has been really sucky lately. Weird. See, I'm not pixelated on either one of my devices. Hopefully it goes away, because that sucks. I'm sorry. So I'm just gonna, oh, and why I don't need this. I'm so, good Lord, I don't need my secondary device on tracking things at all. So I am gonna start out with something that's, oh, and I did a lot of testing of metals today. I had a bunch of items that I was just questioning. Is this sterling silver? Is it sterling silver plated? Is it possibly gold? Blah, 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 right? So I did a bunch of that, and I watched 2 different groups of reseller friends crafting today. So that was fun. That was nice. Okay, so I am going to start this show out with what I believe are some just beautiful vintage screw-on earrings. They are going to have a starting bid of $15. The quality of the glass in here is lovely. Oh, unknowingly, I brought 3 different pairs of orange colored earrings today. That was not intentional at all. Oh, it's funny how we do unconscious things like that. So look at this. Here's the screw back. And personally, I always liked these better than clip-ons because they fit different thicknesses of earlobes. And when I was a teenager, even with holes all the way up like this, I could still wear these comfortably. So I probably could now as well. They do not have a maker. Oh no, Ducky. Are you in a place, Ducky, where there's a whole bunch of people using devices right now? Like, do you have on more than one device? Like, on more than one channel? That's so weird because you're in the same state as me, right? You're in the South, I'm in the North. So that doesn't make sense. Who knows? Someone else is clear, but I am not. Well, holy bejesus. I mean, I don't think I can go out and come back in because I'd have to start a new stream. Hi, Anne. You see that I'm pixelated too? But I don't see that. Bop, bop, ba-dum, bop, bop. I don't. That's terrible. If everyone is seeing me. Oh, no. Hi, Valerie. Nice to meet you. Okay, that doesn't make. I mean, my internet. Okay, let me just check. My internet. As far as I know, everything's working just fine here. Everything I see is good, but all of you are saying that it's an issue. Okay. And then it just now said no connection. However, sometimes we get that up here for like a blip and then it goes away. It's part of country. My receiver, I have a dish, like a satellite dish on my house that goes across the valley to this tall ridge near the coast. Oh, and I'm lucky that I have a straight line. Okay, so I'm not seeing it. Hi, Jessie. Hi, Melly. And I seem fine so far. Okay, so I'm wondering, my bars are fine. I'm wondering if it's cleared up for you all. It's clearing up. Sandra, hi, Sandra. Okay, good. So you know what it was? My internet was connection up here in the country was doing a weird thing. So let's go back to these. $15. These are lovely. These are lovely. Screwback earrings. I'm so glad. Excellent. Melly, I hope you're still taking care of yourself. Not that you wouldn't. You know what to do. It's just like me. You've been doing this for years. The puddling is wonderful. I'm assuming these are 1950s. Prong set. And they are orange and citrine glass. Colors, okay? Colors. Like this is a light kind of almost lime green with orange. You have like your, I believe this is called a baguette. Y'all don't, if it's not, please let me know. Let me do this. And then you have your 2 light green there. You know what always helps on this color is the orange ring light. Yep. And then the green. They're just a really, really beautiful quality of cut glass. And the sparkle, as you can see when I turn this, there's no AB. That's just the glass. And they are about probably just an inch. But I love the way they did on the ear and then just a little drop. And you know what I would really love? Having the necklace that went with these. Okay, so those started at 15, and I'm going to put them in a bag and move on. I don't have a lot of educational talk to say about these. I don't think it's check glass. It's possible because of the brilliance of it. But you know, it's also just the cut, the way they cut it, like semi-precious stones. They made, they just did such a great job. Show the back, please. Oh, Melly, I thought I did. Oh, but maybe that's when I was pixelated. I'm sorry, honey. Thank you. So the screw on. And then there is the puddling. It's very well done. Melly, this is a good question for me to ask you, and it's not really worn. And then the prong setting, hold on. The prongs are really nice and thick as well. The stones they're pretty big. Melly, okay. Melly's in for 15. Thank you. They're really pretty. The colors are gorgeous. Melly, let's educate me. Why is it called puddling? Melly. And we can go ahead and do a fair warning and count it down for Melly unless someone wants to come in at 16 before we say sold. Melly, why do we say puddling? For the metal on the back, what does puddling mean? Because to me, does that just mean that it's really smooth instead of, like clear, like a lake? I've always wondered. Thank you, Melly. So, yeah, if you know puddling, please educate us, because that is one thing that I say all the time, because I heard someone say it a while ago. And, but I've actually never done a dive into why is it puddling? What the heck does that mean? Okay, I'm going to show something that I showed yesterday that someone should have jumped on, because these were my mom's, and it was just thrown in this. I'll show you. Was just thrown in this box in a drawer with all her little things, and because that's what she did. And then after the caregiver stole stuff, I too threw stuff in a big box, and got it out of the house, after the horse has already left the stable. And I just assumed these were like whatever. Oh, thank you, Melly. Like 2 puddles of the solder barely connected at the center. Yeah, so really clean solder job. Gotcha. Okay, so these are now starting at 50. They are. And I knew, I didn't know when I first held them up. I was just like, oh, there's some nice stud, malachite earrings, sterling silver. Okay. And I know my mom traveled through the desert all the time. So they start at 50. Traveled through the desert all the time. So, she probably just picked up a little thing at the gift shop. Now for this one, I'm going to change my ring light back to this color. They're sterling silver, and do you see how they have the cutout right there? So in my mind, this is like 3/4 moon. It's on each side. So you probably wear them reverse. They're like ear climbers. Let me get this one like this. They are signed. They're sterling silver. The malachite is really good malachite. It's not just a throwaway. See all the bands of white and black, dark green. They are signed RJA. These are Ronnie John Henry. He is a renowned and one of the most famous Navajo jewelry artists out there. He comes from a long line of renowned, fine artisan craftsmen and women in the Navajo tradition. These are vintage. They're not modern. The oldest they could possibly be would be the 90s. I am trying. There you go. Sometimes the ring light blows out the bands, the colors, and it always looks different on my end. Here is the back. You texted me a pic. Thank you, Melly. Here is the back with the RJA. Look him up. Ronnie John Henry. So I'm asking 50. These go on eBay, average about $80, 80 or 90. And because he's renowned and he's always wanted and asked to all the big shows, these are, in my mind, only going to increase in value. Okay, Melly, no problem. So I don't do recaps. And if anyone needs like a photo to see how wonderful the malachite is, let me know. But they start at 50. And yeah, so what did I teach you just then? And I didn't pull the price over. See, and they have that old vintage cut swirled ear back. There you go. Now, that doesn't always, so, and there's silver also, that doesn't always mean anything because dealers will just throw any ear backs. Like you could have a pair of vintage earrings like this that you find, and they'll just have a plastic back because the backs are long gone because they're so easily disappeared. But in this case, it does mean something. And unfortunately, there's only one. The other one is gone. So do your research into RJA. I don't do recaps. If you're interested, if you want a picture, if you want to own something that's going to increase in value, I've got it. Miss Pamela, if you're in here, I have the matching blue dangle silver toned brushed earrings to the brooch that you purchased that I already shipped out. I didn't remember that I had a set, and they were in 2 separate bags of the new inventory that I pull out. So I really want to give you first dibs because they're a set. Yeah. Okay. Moving to something. Let's see. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? You know, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to ask y'all, because I showed these again were my mom's, and I could wear these. They don't have any earring backs, and I'm sure she picked them up at, because they love the desert. So I'm sure she picked them up in the desert. Melly is sending me the puddling. Okay. But they're going to start at 18. They are carved frog earrings starting at 18. Now, here's the thing. I want y'all to help me, because the last time I showed these little frogs, I said that they were turquoise. I know they're adorable. That much I know. And I think 18 is like a very reasonable price. The eyes are just painted. They are not stones. They're not inset, at least not as far as I can tell. But here's the thing with these frogs. And this is where I am. They're so dang cute, Ducky. Here's the thing where I need to learn something, because I don't have a Presidium. I will hopefully by next month, as my business is growing pretty rapidly. Does this look like turquoise to you all? The sky blue absolutely looks like turquoise. The fact that I know that they came from the trading posts gives me a clue, right? Actually, let me take a look with the loop at the eyes. Oh no, the eyes are actually a teeny tiny piece of coral. I'm wrong. They're tiny, glued on chips of coral. Now, right, but here's the deal with the frog. This one has just a little bit over here of like a lighter orangey color, almost like a super light carnelian. And both, see right there? In this one, now I know turquoise comes from copper, grows, it's a mineral that grows near copper. But see, look at this one. How translucent it is. And it's one piece of stone carved. And so the other thing about turquoise is often it will be crushed into a pulp and pressed back together with a resin, stabilized. But what's this? I truly, and like I say, I just discovered that the eyes are little teeny tiny coral chips. But what is this? Anybody know? This is part of what Fridays is all about. Learning. What is that? Hi, Sandra. RJA. Oh, wait a minute. Sandra. It might be RHA. Ronnie, and God bless America. Hold on. This is me at my best. RJA. Ronnie John Anderson. What the heck did I say before? I don't think I said that. So thank God, Sandra. Yes. No. Ronnie John Anderson. RJA. Good Lord. That's what I get for rushing around. RJA. Loop time. And then we'll go back to the frog. RJA. Ronnie John Anderson. Pacha. I did. Okay. Yeah, sometimes the brain in the mouth when I start talking, and I have a touch of OCD, not ADHD, but OCD, and so I have multiple things going on in my brain at once. Yeah. ROIE? No. Hold on. I did a whole dive on this. RJA. Jewelry. Oh, no. Let me do this. RJH. RJA. Okay, here you go. Hallmark found on authentic handcrafted Navajo sterling silver jewelry, often featuring traditional designs with turquoise and coral. RJA sterling. This is so RJH is Ron Henry. Oh my God. Okay, so I remember. Now I'm just confusing myself. Trust me. I did a whole deep dive on these. I even took a picture and I found something similar but not exact. RJA is Ronnie John. He's a renowned Navajo artist. That's what I got for you. I promise I'm not making up. And it's not an H. It's an A. It's a large R, large J, and a small A. I'm sorry. I know that's confusing, but it is Ronnie John. And I thought it was Anderson. Ronnie John. There is a Henry out there too. See, now I'm just going to leave it. No, I'm not. Because now I'm going to feel like I don't ever want to give you wrong or incorrect information. And there you go. I viewed some of it on eBay. So that may help. To jog my memory. And then again, it may just confuse me even more. There you go. Hold on. Because no. See, this is a part of what Fridays are. A part of what Fridays are is learning. So that's not helpful. RJA. So we just I don't usually do this, but because I have confused people, I need to unconfuse myself and other people. No, this is giving me a whole bunch of like Navajo Billy Slim. No. He wants to give me every other Navajo person in the world except that. Yeah, so let's get out of eBay. I did this. Okay. Malachite signed RJA stud sterling silver earrings. Good Lord. And then the okay. Ronnie John, renowned Navajo jewelry artist. Wow. This is really, I'm getting everyone in the world except what I had yesterday. So apparently that's a pretty popular name, Ron and Ronnie. So I'm going to move on from that. And if anyone is interested, I will go back in my search history and find the exact thing and the matches that I found, because it is what I said, but now I'm just too confused. So I'm going to put this over here and just move back on to whatever I was doing, because now I'm like, Anyway, so does anyone have any idea what this stone is? Because I have never seen turquoise that has this almost like jade, carnelian, opalescent pieces. They're not put on, it's the actual part of the carved little frog. So anyway, they start at 18. And if you know, please let me know. And I'm sorry for that confusion. I came on here and I absolutely knew Ronnie John, and I thought Anderson, but there was also a Henry, but there is a lot of Ronnies. And if anyone's interested and you want clarity from me, reach out and I will do the better dive and we will get there. Okay. But in the interest of moving on, we're going to move on. Sorry, you guys and gals. Okay. This is a vintage copper and brass cuff. Starts at $19. And I think it's pretty spectacular. More than likely the 70s, although some of these are, you can see from the wear that this was on someone's wrist for a long time. It is wrapped. It has caps on the end. A lot of these were made in the 70s. However, there was also, in addition to the sterling silver cuffs that were made for the Harvey houses, they also did copper and brass. It wasn't as popular, but it was another alternative for the tourists coming through. If you can do a deep dive into Harvey House and jewelry, they were just a pioneering person who was like, hey, I'm gonna, bring together a bunch of Native American artists and sell their work in Harvey houses that were kind of almost like in small town stagecoach stop type thing. Started at the turn of the century, and a little bit, into maybe the 30s, 40s, 50s, they started making these as well, although not in the same number. So these are hard to always date. See the kind of acorn cap down there? That's a good way to help date it. Hold on. Because starting in the 50s, so prior to the 50s, the little sawtooth cuts on jewelry were hand done, and they would be uneven cuts because they were hand cut. Then they created almost like a jeweler's tool, and the cuts and the swirls started being even though they were still hand cut. They had a tool, so there wasn't a bunch of, it was looked more like machine done, right? And this one is pretty regular on these little tiny caps right here. So therefore, I'm going to go with 60s, 70s. It's large on my wrist where it sits right now, and I'm a 7.25. So I would go with that. This is a 7.5 unless you want to carefully warm it up and push it in, and then you can get it down to a 7.25. It's not super heavy, but it's not hollow, and it's a really nice design. But it's something, that's something to think about and learn. Harvey House, if you don't already know. Okay. We can pass on that. And as long as we just showed, and I have copper. If you like copper, I have copper. So this is going to be a second, and this is definitely late 70s copper cuff. This can start at 15. I've had it in my eBay box for a long time. The reason you can tell, so see, this is a large part of what Fridays is about. The reason you can tell genuine copper. Does it actually say genuine? No, this one says pure copper. Pure copper. It has a rivet going through. It is a cuff. And then it has this really nice swirl that they put on the front with a rivet. So they didn't glue it on. I showed 2 bangles yesterday where they had soldered, and another one where they had glued a piece on, and the soldered pieces had come off over the years, and the glued piece had come off. This is riveted, so it's never come off. It's lightweight. It's really nice if you like copper. I love copper. I have a lot of copper. And again, this would fit up to a 7.75, which is the top of a medium. Or you can warm it up and squish it down, and it's thick enough that you can do it, but warm it up and do it correctly. And let me pull it over. I really like that. And it says pure copper, but I like this simple swirl. To me, that's very, very indigenous. And indigenous, actually, I've learned is a word that Native Americans don't like. They don't like indigenous because it just, it's a blanket statement like white and, or yeah, like white or Caucasian, as opposed to my background heritage is Italian or German or English or, so this is a nice piece and it's about a 1/2 inch thick. It pretty much looks brand new. Okay. We can move on from that. I'm going to bring, what am I going to bring? I'm going to bring this. This starts at $40. It is creamed spinach bakelite bracelet. $40 start. Thank you, Ducky. This is a really nice. The only reason I'm selling it is because it doesn't fit me. This is one of those more desirable patterns, if you will, although it's not a desirable food to me. Not creamed. I like sauteed spinach, fresh spinach salad. I mean, I can see the green spinach colors and the swirls with like that. It's more of a light oranges, and then there's some dark green. Get rid of the ring light. It's got a lot. This is a good one. It's got a lot of pattern going on. And it starts at $40. I was just checking if that was anything, and it was not. Isn't that great? The coloration in here. If that is a word, and if it's not, it is now. And then you can see it has just a little bit of see-through. I'll tell you the size in a minute. It's too small for me, so we know it's smaller than a 7.25. And then the inside, also see all the colors pulled down. Bakelite goes a little up and down. The market varies here and there, but in general, it remains fairly stable. And I have a lot of it, but one of the things, because this was made, it started being popular at the turn of the century, but during the war, because we couldn't use metal, it became the homemade go-to, and the ladies were just so much tinier. Yeah. I wish I need to get a hand model for the pieces that are too small. But at $40, this is a very reasonable price. Now, the other thing about Bakelite like this, it is, Ducky, and it starts at $40, please. It is a great color. It's art. Bakelite. So that's what, number one, Bakelite has a distinctive sound. right? Number two, I love plastic, but Bakelite is art, you know? So it is 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches would usually be a 7.25 on my wrist, but it's concave. So that means that it leans inward. So this is in, and then this is kind of out, and then the bottom is in, and it was sold as a 7.25. But when it's that kind of pushed in concave, that takes it down a size or more. Unless you had even smaller hands than I do. My hands are not very big at all. I mean, look at how, at all. But it's right there. So I would say a 6.75 at 40. And I'm just going to put that in. Just in case, because I don't do recap. So, oops. Oh, oh my God. What did I just do? I don't know. Sometimes things are weird. 6.7 is B 40. Okay. It's got a period in there just for fun. Just for funsies. Okay, so that started at 40. It's a really gorgeous piece. Things like this just don't often seem to translate. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And as always, I bring lots of different stuff, but I'm always open to someone asking me, hey, do you have this? Do you have that? Ducky, YouTube has been eating my comments for several days now. So, and it really, for me, I do talk to text, and it can make for some interesting, strange things that come out sometimes. But it's so much faster than pecking it out on a little phone. And I'm finding that that's the one that wasn't working. So these are just super fun kitsch, probably 1950s, 1960s, from one of the beach shops, seahorse screw-on earrings. No, Ducky, yeah, I appreciate you doing your job. These start at 24. Just the novelty of them. They are screw-on seahorse shell earrings start at 24. And I think 60s. I don't think 70s. I think they're 60s. And these are the type of things that, they just glued the copper. This is a copper back. Does it say anything? Get out of here. It says Japan. It says Japan. So if these were sold at one of those, when you go along the East Coast, more than here, the West Coast, but still some, but heavily along the East Coast. I was born in the Carolinas. There's all the stores that you used to be able to go in, and presumably they're still there. And it was just everything in the world made of seashells, right? But these are from Japan. And most of the stuff I remember was just like American made little kitsch. But it says Japan on the back of that screw. just barely, copper, glued on. It is a teeny tiny abalone / mother of pearl. Really thin piece. It has a lot of color. This abalone, it's thin. And then this is a plastic seahorse, some type of acrylic, like a bubblegum charm type thing they put in with a, I think it's glass. Hold on. Nope. Plastic. Rhinestone and a red cold painted eye. So they are very much a novelty or a kitsch item, and I think they're fantastic. Fantastic plastic. If these were thicker, I would dare to remove the glue and make 2 brooches. But I'm not quite handy enough with jewelry to trust myself to do that. So they start at 20. And this, I want to say, that looks like it's a crack. Oh, 24? No, I think if I said that, I mean 20. No, yeah, I do. I mean 20. Oh, my Lord. 20. This is not a crack. This is a piece of the shell. This is just a piece of the shell. And I find it interesting that it's concave like that. I mean, abalone shells are in a circle, but you usually don't see it in a disc like that. It's my fault, Ducky, not yours. I think they're great. Imagine if they were like little hair clips. And I think that if you purchase these, you could figure out, you could either wear them novelty, exactly the way they are, or you could figure out an artisan something to do with it. And I'm sorry that the blues and pinks are not coming through as well as they should be. I like kitsch, and these are kitsch all the way. And again, sorry for the confusion about, if I had more time, to hang out and figure this out, I would, about it's Ronnie J. Anderson. Ronnie John Anderson. And he is renowned artist, and he's still alive today. And he and his family, his whole family is artists. So Navajo, blah. It is, well, so here's the thing. Let's talk about that for a second, Sandra. Mother of pearl is abalone, right? Because it's not pearls. It's not, like this. We would call this mother of pearl. But it is from abalone. It is just the white part of the abalone. This one has hardly any of the blues or the pinks, etc., right? So that's straight mother of pearl. So really, I think that because this has some of the blues and greens and yellows, it should be called abalone. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you. This should be called abalone. You think so, Ducky? Why don't we find that out on the phone, on the AI Google thing? Because I've always been curious about that as well. Is mother of pearl and abalone from the same source? That's what I'm asking this AI thing. Yes, mother of pearl and abalone come from the same source in that abalone is a specific type of mollusk that produces mother of pearl or nacre, N-A-C-R-E. Mother of pearl is the iridescent inner layer found in various mollusk shells, while abalone refers to the shell animal itself, which is known for its exceptionally dark, colorful, and vibrant rainbow-hued nacre. Come from the same source, and that abalone is a specific type of mollusk. So abalone produces mother of pearl, but then there's also the rainbow abalone. Yes, Ducky. Yes. Oh, it's from oysters. Interesting. That makes sense. So it can be from Australia. It can be oysters. Well, thank you. I didn't know that. So nacre is produced by abalone, oysters, or mussels to coat with nacre, which is mother of pearl, to coat the inside of their shells. So there's abalone, and then there's nacre, which is coating the inside of the shell. Mollusks, abalones, and oysters. Ah, there you go. I've always wondered about that. I've never done a dive on that before now. And so now I learned something. So this is, I see iridescence in here. So I'm going to say it's right at the edge of the lining because it's very mother of pearl, but it has some translucent. So it's right in between the both layers, if that makes any freaking sense at all. Nacre. Thank you. Happy Ducky. I believe that. I believe that. Thank you. See, this is why we do this. We learn together. Thank you. I mean, there's so much to know. And so I just use like the common vernacular that everyone says. There's a mother of pearl. That's abalone. This is it. And, you being here and having Fridays forces me to learn more. And I never knew about the nacre. And it makes perfect sense to me that oysters and mollusks can be used, mollusks can be used for this, but I never really thought about it before. So this brooch starts at $35. It is most likely a high-end designer. It's fun, Ducky, and it makes my head swim. This is one of those many, many pieces out there that is not signed, but the minute that someone like me sees it, gets it in your hand, you know exactly what it is, because this is what you want. This is what you dream of. Now, I have several of these. The pin back just goes out. So It's late 50s to mid 60s. Anyone know what designer? And starts at 35. Anyone know what designer it is that I may be speaking of here? Y'all should know. There's just that one. So this is a emerald green. This is grass green. Again, you have the emerald green there. This one at the bottom is lilac. And this one is lilac. And over here as well, right? Hold on. Yes, 1, 2, 3. There's 3 small. 1, 2, 3. Lilac. Then you have the emerald green, the grass green, and this is a medium green. The prong setting is done really well. The stones are nice and thick and juicy. It's a big brooch. I think this one is 3 inches. Gold tone. I love the way they cut off, clamped and cut and filed the edges of this brooch. And they do what is very typical. To me, the green is a high quality glass. If I was going to describe this that's open, I would say probably a check glass. This is also open, so probably the same thing. When it's really high quality glass, they don't coat it. They leave it open like they do semi-precious stones. Does anyone want to take a guess on the designer? And hence why it starts at 35. Anyone? It's 3 inches tall. And 2 inches across at its widest point. This thing is so stunning. Just absolutely stunning. And the layering is really good. And then, so, we talk about puddling. We're just talking about that. See how nicely done the puddling is with the solder? It's clean, really clean. Nobody's going to guess. Well, it's likely a D&E Juliana piece because it's a very high quality. Okay. Let me put it back in its bag and move on. As always, I will ask anyone that's here that's interested in something in particular, please let me know. D&E or Juliana. Very high-end designer. Juliana D&E is shorthand for, I forgot, Tutu and Esther something. I don't know. I always again, it's one of those shorthand things. Everyone just says D&E. or Juliana, which is the same people, the same company, the same designer? No. Well, cool. I can tell you that when I started selling jewelry on eBay in, I don't know, 2001, I didn't know what D&E or Juliana was. I did within a year, but I didn't at first. I learned a lot from getting in on eBay on the ground floor like that. I learned a lot. So I'm going to show a couple of necklaces. And this here one is going to start at $50. It is a Tibetan mala. This is a very much the Tibetan, the reds. The purple is like the higher color. There's red is more Hindu. Purple is more Buddhist, although red crosses over into both. I'm just showing this to you on Molly. Molly, do you have a stain there or something? Uh-oh, my Molly has some little something. Wow, happy ducky. Yes, you have. And then, in addition, I'll take it off in just a minute. This was my mom's. They were Buddhist, my parents. And then I'll show you more about that necklace in a second. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. In Tibet, even today, although there's less and less and more kind of Chinese influence, because of the need for money, because of a Buddhist kind of value of which money wasn't really a part other than sensible and needing it just to survive and eat your basic foods. Very often, older pieces got taken apart and sold to the tourist trade in a reformatted way. And my parents were, that we lived in the Bay Area, and that is where, when China came in and took over Tibet in the late 60s, 70s, so many of the monks fled in the middle of the night. Actually, with a friend of mine's father, who was a professor at UC Berkeley, was there to translate. He taught obscure Asian history and knew the language, so the FBI flew him in. So they came to the Bay Area, and they brought with them a lot of this very old, revered jewelry. And I suspect very strongly that my mother bought this from one of them at, I don't know, a temple, just in person. And I'm not sure. So these are supposed to hang on there. I'm not sure exactly what this instrument is. I'm assuming, and it's probably unwise, that this is pewter. I didn't test it. It's highly probable that it is, in fact, a lower grade silver. These are handmade. The little round beads are handmade. You can see the carving and the pounding. I did not test it. I probably should have. And this one is a symbolic piece, and I have one of these sitting around, but for the life of me, I don't remember the name of this particular piece. And yeah, I don't have my tester kit over here, or I would test it. So I can't say that it's sterling silver, but it may be. And I was just looking there because on both sides there's like a white, and I was trying to determine if stones were taken out, but I don't think so. Do you see how that was handcrafted, these beads? So this gets tied back onto that necklace, and then the necklace itself is again on thick purple cordage, which has very much worn, because these are mullet, these are prayer beads. These are also hand carved, and they are bone. Now, I'm assuming it's some kind of like, cow, oxen, something like that. But it's not plastic, it's bone, hand carved. This is another symbol. The 4 pieces, you notice the metal piece also had 4. I think that's like north, east, south, and west, kind of like wheel of life. And there is something, so here's the thing, similar to, I believe, rosaries. You go around and you count your bead, prayer, 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 right? And then these, it's almost like an abacus. These are counters for every 10 times you've gone around, right? So you would go around however many times that is, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, to do your prayers. And also, you would just have these. I mean, I know as someone who follows a woman from India, you would just have these in your pocket and you just never stop. You go around and around and around and you never stop. So these have pretty dang good resale value, and you're either interested in something like this or you are not. It's an exceptional deal. It was my mother's, but I don't know if she wore it. I don't know if she used it. I have my own prayer beads, different, and I thought I'd offer it up here. Okay, we can pass. So, is anyone here interested in anything in particular? Because I can just keep pulling stuff that I brought, and I'm fine with that. But maybe someone is interested in, brooches, rings. I'm just jumping all around, and I always have this big basket, but I don't do recaps, and I do have limited time. You could also tell me if you were interested in something from yesterday. I had a couple people reach out to me and purchase items from yesterday. So some is no longer available. Let's try this. I don't know. I'm not getting any help from my lurker buddies about what to show, what not to show. Okay, this starts at $60. This starts at $60. It's a lapis and sterling silver double strand with mother of pearl necklace. These are hollow. I tested them. These are sterling silver, at the very least plated on the top. I cannot tell you that it's, pure sterling silver. I'm just not that advanced, but they are hollow beads. Otherwise, it would be worth a crazy amount of money. This is so ducky, right? This is so beautiful. This is oof. This is oof. It is on this kind of hook with the caps. This is not sterling silver. Okay. But these hollow beads are. Let me take it off of Molly, who looks like she has a pushed in or a little stain or something. I guess she works pretty hard for me. Maybe she deserves a raise. So it is older. You can tell that by the actual clasp itself. At least I can. I believe, I'm pretty sure. By this, it is older, meaning like 80s, 90s. It is on thin metal wire and just lapis chips for days. And this beautiful high sheen. I mean, I'm assuming this is mother of pearl. However, maybe it's like a jasper or a agate because of this. Mother of pearl usually for me is like in those flat chunks. It's not a thick bead like that. So I'm probably wrong in saying that. It's probably something else, right? And if y'all know what that might be, see, there's like that jaspery or swirl, really iridescent. But see the bands in there? And then the clear in here. So I mother of pearl doesn't make sense in this instance. Look at that. But I mean, it's super blazing white, like a mother of pearl, but and it's some kind of rock. But okay, look. Let me change this. I'm trying to see if you can see. There you go. See all of that? Anyone know what stone that is? I'm just learning my semi-precious stones because I have dealt in costume jewelry and some sterling silver and gold in the 70s, but not hardly any semi-precious stones. So I'm on a new learning curve with that. And I mean, I buy these from people who tell me what they are, but not this piece. I found this on my own in the wild. See that bead? Yeah, that's what I mean. It's so pretty. But no one's interested. It must be one of those days where no one likes what I'm bringing. It is this long. It's about 20 inches, and it is stinking gorgeous. Stinking gorgeous. And I've looked this up. Forget about these beads. There's 3 of them, right? I think 3. Or is it just 2? Hold on. 2. There's only 2 of them. Forget about those beads. Just the lapis and these other beads alone, this is about $150 to $200 necklace. Okay, nothing, no bites. Well, y'all, I so appreciate that you're here. I so appreciate that you're lurking. I so appreciate that you're watching. I've been on an hour and a half, and I mean, Fridays is a slow day. I go slower. I show stuff much slower. But I will call it earlier than 2 hours if I need to, because I can't go on like this. So this is a turquoise, vintage turquoise ring, double open band, 925. Nope, I got to do it backwards. It is a size 9, and it is going to start at $39. See the open split band? It is a beautiful older piece of turquoise. And I can let you guys know that I've had a long week. And yeah, I've had a long week, and I'm down with hanging out with my dog and watching someone else instead of me struggling over here. So here, let me put it on size 9. I mean, I have several really beautiful things, but it's got really great dark blue, and the black and brown from, growing with copper is really nice in this piece. I'm just guessing 70s, 80s. That's 100% guess. Thank you, Ducky. This is a great piece of turquoise. I agree. This is a nice older piece of turquoise that it's a nice older piece of turquoise. You just don't, it's not foreign from China, or it's here from the United States, from some mine that has long been closed. It's a nice thick piece. Here's the back. Let's see if I can loop that at all. Yep, there's the back. Let me do that with the front as well. And then I got to clean this thing. I'm going to take it over to the sink with me. I tested it. The 925 is just right there. Yep. And it is a size 9. And it is a size 9. Nice piece. Well, y'all, is there anything that you guys really want to see? You want to see the newly made Hishi green, turquoise, and Gaspar necklace. It is a double strand. There is no sterling silver. It is made by a woman whose mother is a renowned weaver from the Dene tribe, Navajo. And it starts at $210. If anyone's interested in seeing that, let me know. Amethyst, sterling silver, really nice high set piece. I like the flourish on the side here. It is raised. It is a nice, very deep purple amethyst ring. This starts at $30. It says, does it say anything besides 925? Let's see. It does. But I'm not, it says 925 and then it says SU. And like a circle, I think that's a SU or an SD in a circle. Not sure. Not sure at all. And the size of this is, what is the size of this? 7 3/4. 7 3/4. And I do test. I didn't, but I do now. My sterling silver and gold. I was sitting over for about 45 minutes testing different pieces that I'd had sitting around for a while before I came on today. It's a pretty little ring. Okay. Well, I didn't hear anyone say they were interested in seeing the necklace. And I do have other really pretty necklaces sitting over here. I do have a gorgeous costume jewelry stranded piece from, is this one from West Germany or Japan? I mean, that's my first love. Plastics and vintage costume will always be something I sell. It will always be a part of what I bring. I think this one feels like, oh, it's Japan. Feels more like it would be West Germany because it's just so beautiful. This piece starts at 30. Here is the extender. It's all intact. Large ball at the end. It's 3. There's the clasp with Japan. Starts at 30 because it's so outstanding. Let me entertain you. These are I think these are glass pearls. They're very thin. Yeah. These are glass pearls with black and clear seed beads, gray, Christmas, brilliant, maroon, red, black, white, glass pearls. I love them. Then they get larger. There's a spacer. Someone in a group about Venetian beads was saying, based on spacers that look just like this, that it was from the 70s or 80s, these things. And I just didn't argue with them because I'm like, yeah, this right here is from the 50s or 60s. So, and you're telling me that, yeah. So anyway, I didn't. This one is covered in, oh, excuse me. No, it's not. This is a gold spacer. This is an AB crystal. And then look at this ceramic. Yeah. Look at this ceramic bead. This is incredible. This looks very Venetian style, right? Wow. I mean, so the whole thing, this is going to be the last item I show because I have not made one sale. And no one other than Ducky is talking to me. So without the extender, it fits right like this. So this is 15, a little over 16, it's almost 18 inches without the extender. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful example of what our mothers and grandmothers wore, right? And there is 1, 2, 3, 4 of those incredible beads mixed in with all the rest of it. I mean, it's just like, it's so damn fancy. It is so damn fancy. And the fact that they're glass pearls, these, they still have a lot of value. I know that eBay has, dropped the average down to sometimes, a few dollars on items, but that's because you've got thousands of people and they're averaging the cost. And it's not really fair to the jewelry individually nor the resellers, because something like this is not just your basic 3-strand piece. Yes, thank you, Dougie, for keeping me company. I appreciate it. So, y'all, it's 5:00. I was, 12 minutes late. I was prepared to sit here with y'all until about 6:00 tonight, and I was kind of looking forward to that. But I do 3 sales a week, and it is Friday, even though that doesn't mean a lot to me. And nobody, if y'all told me what you were looking for, I could bring it. But I don't know what you want. And I have done my very best. And I feel like I've done a good job in that, bringing up all kinds of different items, from Japan, incredible, costume jewelry, to, Navajo artist, rings, rhinestones, earrings. I don't even know. So I feel like, yeah, it does, Ducky. I feel like I tried really hard to bring a really lovely smattering of fun stuff. So I don't know what else to do. I cooked my dinner before coming on, except for a Beyond Burger or Impossible Burger, right? And yeah, I could eat some chips. And Melly's coming on, so I could go do that. This is an incredible artisan peridot and amethyst ring. Incredible. I mean, incredible, this thing. Starts at $85. But we're not going to go there. So, before everyone leaves me, I don't do recaps. So if you see something you're interested in, you can email me. People do quite a bit. And tomorrow, Saturday, February 21st, is a drop sale with, I think, about 8 people. I could have that wrong by 1 or 2. Resellers. We are doing a all of the proceeds we make, all of them, go to Miss Pamela Blanchard of Oak Grove Mercantile, who needs a particular type of surgery that's been complicated by the arthritis medicine injections and treatments that she has to have in order to, remain upright and function. And she doesn't have the money. It's a lot of money. So I will be on at, it's either 1 or 1:30 Eastern time tomorrow. No, Pacific time, 4:30 Eastern. And there's a bunch of people before me, and there's some people after me, and then we roll right into Miss Pamela's sale. Miss Pamela was an angel to me, and still is an angel. But I mean, during the time when my mother was sick and passed, and then my father, and she's just an angel. I mean, she's just an angel. So that's tomorrow, Saturday. I posted who it is and what times they're on in my community post. please check it out. I am going to donate whatever people buy. I'm going to donate half again as much out of my pocket to her. And yeah. Then I'll be back Tuesday. And this weekend, like I said, it's gonna, and a big storm is coming in, and so I'm just gonna be hunkered down, and I'm gonna be packing the rest of the boxes so they can go out Monday. And I'm gonna go have some chips. Thank you, Ducky. I hope that you have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you around. I appreciate your help so much. I appreciate everyone who came and lurked. And, if anyone was interested in the guest spar and whatnot necklace, let me know. I didn't show it, but, let me know. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I hope you learned something. I did. Good night.